What are spirit guides? In this video, each and every one of you are going to not just hear my personal opinion, we're going to be listening to Matt's. For those of you who don't know, Matt is an absolute exceptional medium, and every one of you should go and subscribe over to his channel. If you do love the spirit world in the way that I love them, and you want to help and you want to work alongside of them, smash that like to place your intent. And don't forget that you can leave down in the comments your favourite medium, and we'll take a look at their work on a later video. It's worth knowing, we don't do these videos to inspire hate. We don't do these to favouritize specific mediums. You've got to remember, when it comes into mediumship, there are no two mediums alike. Therefore, the reason why I brought this playlist into fruition is to prove without any doubt that it's all right to be different. Mediums can have a difference in opinion. Whilst, yes, I know a lot of mainstream teachings tell you that you shouldn't, or if somebody has a difference in opinion, then that's wrong. I'm telling you it's right. You are all unique and you should be treated in the same way. Therefore, by watching these videos, it's not to inspire hatred. It's not for you to listen to my views and opinions and think that I'm right. Matt's going to tell you his views. I'm going to tell you my views. And from that, you are going to learn your own opinions. You're going to be able to take a more informed decision when it comes to working alongside of the spirit world. Rather than preaching hatred, we are helping each and every one of you to see how beautiful and magnificent the spirit world actually is by just being able to tune in to our stories. Also, let me know down in the comment section, right, if you also have some stories that you would like to share, some inputs that you would like to give. Maybe show the community, right, show everyone how your opinion is, how you see spirit guides. Again, it's not about I'm better than Matt, or Matt's better than me, or you're better than both of us. It's not about that. It's not a competition, this. It's about educating the populace on the spirit world and helping mankind to see that we are all right to be different. We are all right to step into our own power. We don't need anyone to tell us we're good enough. We know that we're good enough because we can prove with evidence. We can bring forward evidence of the afterlife, and each and every one of you will be able to. Also, if you are wanting to become a medium, don't forget to watch the How to Become a Psychic Medium series, a series in which we will guarantee each and every one of you, if you watch the videos from the start to the finish, you will become a medium. However, if you don't put the hard work, the time, the effort, the commitment in, then unfortunately, what do you want me to do? Find time for yourself and we can make it happen for you. Just said there, we're going to get into this video about spirit guides. We are also doing a follow-up video on this. This is probably going to be split into two parts. I'm going to try and do these videos around about 45 to an hour long. And then what we'll do is we'll make them into different videos. I know a lot of you don't have 2 hours long to sit and listen and watch me. I get it. I don't myself. I couldn't. If at any point you are wanting to meet your spirit guides, we are going to have a separate video for that. It's not like going to be a back and forward. It's not going to be like an opinion. It's going to be an educational way of you meeting your spirit teams for the first time. I'm actually creating a video for it right now. So if you do enjoy this video, then you know where to find your bottoms after it. Right. Hello, Matt. I hope you're doing absolutely great, mate. Why don't we get this party started?
How many of you have heard of spirit guides? Well, have you felt somebody?
A lot of you have heard the terminology spirit guides, and it gets very misleading when it comes to mankind's notions and theories about what spirit guides actually are. The clue is in the name. They are energy beings whom are there to assist you and aid you in your everyday life. They will, when you are missing the facet of you as a person for the next part of your spiritual journey, you will be assigned a worker. When I say a worker, right, a lot of you think of the materialistic world. And spirit guides actually have lived lives. They're not like just energy. They've been on this planet many, many times. And you will be appointed spirit guide. Let's just see.
Guiding you, a force that's been with you.
100%, definitely guiding.
Maybe it was that you met someone and you felt like it was fate. You felt like the moment that you met them, under the circumstances and the situation that it happened, you're like, there's no way this could have happened on its own. Somebody had to do this. Someone had to be responsible for this. Well, what I want you to know is,
do spirit guides, in my personal opinion, forge relationships in unisons among mankind? No. I think what we've got to understand is right, as a human being, we are always searching for something. We are always searching for the answers. It doesn't matter whether it's in front of our very eyes. We are always searching for more. When somebody comes into your world and they are the right person, am I saying that maybe your angelic beings or energies of that nature have helped and assisted? Sometimes. Let's not get this twisted. Let's try and play it down a bit, because what I don't want is everyone to think, oh, my soulmate was guided to me by my spirit teams. The problem is the spirit teams are there to aid you. They're not there to wipe your backside. They're not there to make your life fun. They're not there to make your life more livable. You as a human being have to go through this sensory existence, and you have to learn from some of the situations that you will endure, some of the hardships that you will face. That's what this playground is all about, folks. This is what it's all about. This is what it's always been about. Therefore, your spirit guides have assigned tasks, and that's not finding new love. You have to find love. You have to begin to love yourself to be able to go on to love other people. That's part of the cycle of life, learning to love yourself. Believe it or not, how many of you watching this video love yourself? I guarantee there'll be about 90% of you that probably look in the mirror and you don't like the person that looks back. There'll be another 10% of you who might look in the mirror and you're like, oh, you know, your eyebrows, and you just love the person that you are. You're just oozing with confidence. The thing is you're oozing with confidence, not because your spirit teams have made you confident in those moments. It's just naturally you've learned to love the person that you are. Whilst I'm not condoning it in many cases, some people do get a little bit carried away. You know, you're trying to drive a car to work and you're doing the daily commute and you've got Gina in the car next to you and doing her makeup and just blowing kisses and selfies in her phone while she's trying to drive a vehicle. I mean, that's not a good idea. Sometimes we've got to take a bit of a rain check on the confidence. But I hope you can see, right, from that funny jokes aside, the spirit world aren't going to give you that love for yourself. There are some things that the spirit world, the spirit guides, your spirit teams, energy, all of these different elements of the energy plane, they can't give you. You as a person have to go out and seek that love. You as a person have to find someone on soul level. Whilst the spirit world sometimes can, you know, they can make people come in your world and out your world. Don't think for 1 minute it's to benefit you in a relationship sense. You've got to remember the spirit world are going to do things that are going to be right for you at the right time. I'm not for 1 minute saying all of the time the spirit world won't help you to find love, right? But what I'm saying is you shouldn't be looking at them for finding love. You shouldn't be looking at them like it's a dating site. You shouldn't be thinking, my spirit team are going to find me the one. No. They're not going to find you the one. You, my friend, are going to learn the person that you are, and you are going to welcome energies. You are going to welcome another human being into your world. That's not because it's your soulmate. It's because on a soul level you have connected to another being, but because you on an energetic level are ready to embark on a new journey, a new chapter of your life. Don't pin that on the spirit world. Don't pin that on angel. And again, sometimes they can, and I don't want to take it away from you. If some of you like the idea that this loved one is coming into your world at the right time, and you like the idea of it being manipulated by the spirit world, or then you just fully believe that. Don't let me spoil your world. The problem I have is when so many people cling to that, rather than accepting that, actually give yourself a pat on the back. A lot of people find it very difficult to even think or even contemplate having a relationship with another human being, because it's so difficult to realize your own worth. It's so difficult to realize how important and how capable you are of giving somebody else love, because you just don't feel it's meant to be. You don't feel like you are worthy of it. when it comes to your spirit teams, your spirit guides, please stop thinking that they are there to find you love. Because I'm telling you now, 100%, folks, that's the reason why you found this channel. That's the reason why you're listening to this part of the video. Smash a like button if you are enjoying the content. But the spirit world aren't there to wipe your backsides. I know you probably want me to come on and say, oh yes, they're going to find you the one, they're going to find the soulmate. A soulmate, what is a soulmate? A soulmate is another human being who you have managed to find. They haven't been sent to you from a different time. Yes, you feel like you connect to them because both of you like the same things. Both of you feel comfortable with each other. That's not the spirit world's doing. And again, right, I know I might sound harsh here, and there might be a lot of you who don't like that way of thinking, but we need to come away from the spirit world doing all of these different things. In some cases, very, very rarely, right, if, for example, you are in a toxic relationship, and the spirit world know, and your spirit guides know that you as a person need assistance, you need support, you need someone around you. Am I saying that they will never, ever, ever intervene and help? I'm saying it's very rare, and it shouldn't be expected. There are so many people who just want that to be the case. We're all looking for the shortcuts in life. We all just want things to come and fall on our lap. Of course, why wouldn't we? We deserve it, don't we? Like, we're entitled to it. Problem is that's not the way. That so many people, like, that gets my back up, are like, well, I'm manifesting this to come true. I'm manifesting my reality. You are not. You are placing intent, and with hard work, you will get there. And most people are like, no, I'm asking the universe, and the universe is going to send us what I want. And how's that working out for you? It won't work out for you. Because the problem is it's not like a fast food restaurant where you can dictate, or you can say, I want this, and you can go and get a service that you are accustomed to. It's not like that working with energy. You put hard work in, you will reap the hard work. You will reap the rewards to each and every one of your endeavors. But that's not because we are entitled. That's not because we get it easy. It's because we work hard, baby. That's the way that we have to do it.
That if you've ever felt that, then it was the work of your spirit guide. So
again, right, one of the things that you've got to remember, I know me and Matt are very, very different. And there's a lot of things that Matt says and I'll agree with. But there's also going to be a lot of things that Matt says where I don't agree with. And I think it's healthy for us to be able to have an open and see different people's understandings and viewpoints. And to those of you who don't know who I am, watch any one of my videos. I've done thousands of readings, thousands. The reason why you won't see us in the public eye is it's not because I can't be in the public eye. I don't want to be. I don't need to massage my own ego by flexing my abilities on mankind when I can just do private readings. Private readings are between me, the spirit world, and the individual. Therefore, my duty of care to the person in receipt of that message is in a controlled environment. I know they're getting the healing that they need. I don't need to put them on a public platform for me to go, look what I can do, look what I can do. Now, now you're going to cry in front of everyone. Look how many clicks and likes I'm going to get. I'll never be about that. And again, right, if I was to follow the normal meta of mediums, and again, this isn't a dig at Matt, right? Matt's being brought up around Hollywood, and let's be completely honest, it's the normal meta for mediums to just go out and to do mediumship on the public, in the public eye, because it's become entertainment. I'm taking the entertain away from entertainment. It's not meant to be there to entertain. It was always intended for mankind to be able to help one another to heal, to be able to give people the comfort, the satisfaction in a given moment so that they can start their healing. Normally, it's down to grief when it comes into the spirit world. A lot of people are grieving. And I just don't, it doesn't sit right with me, right? Having somebody at their lowest of moment in front of an audience, in front of prying eyes, to then give them information that is going to destroy them in that moment. Yes, it's going to bring a little bit of happiness. It's going to bring a little bit of joy and contentment in those moments. But then when they realise, well, actually, hang on a minute, why couldn't I have got that done off camera? Why couldn't I have been able to connect with my mum Mary in the comfort of my own home? Why wasn't that an option to me? It's like going into spirit or saying it's like this. It's like going into a hospital, right? And them saying, okay, you need this operation. And instead of saying what you can actually do is you can have the operation free. It's all right. You can just go into that room there and have the operation for free. You're going to get everything that you need there. We're not going to give you that option. What we're going to do is we want you to be on the new program. We're trialing out this new program. And what we're going to do is we're going to have an audience of thousands of people watching us operate on you. We're going to just let you be the guinea pig in that scenario. How would you feel? How would you feel in knowing that you didn't get the option to have it in the comfort, in the sanctuary, in the privacy, more importantly, so that you can deal? Can you see where I'm going with that? Can you see how each and every one of you have been conditioned to believe it's normal to have people who are grieving and suffering and on a camera for the world to see, to give them information when you could do it off camera? Can you see why you won't ever find? You'll see a lot of me work when it comes into the paranormal respect, because when I get tables lifted onto one leg off the realms, I work with very different energies, by the way, not just the spirit world. All of these different things, I love to show it. It's part of the evidence. However, when I help mankind, it's not about proving that I know what I do. The thousands of people who've had readings from me are more than aware of my abilities. And if you are wanting to become a medium, we've got all of the free content here on the channel. Going back to that analogy, I don't want you to be the person who's been a guinea pig for everyone. I want you to be able to go and do this in the comfort of your home. You can contact the spirit world whenever you want. There's no more excuses. Not one of you can make an excuse of why you can't do this now. I don't accept excuses. If you are serious about becoming a medium, then I can give you the tools.
Tonight, I want to talk to you all about this, because your spirit guide is actually a soul that you were born with here in this world. A soul.
Oh, right. The problem is, right, being born with a soul. For those of you who don't know, when we come down to the planet, we come down in what are called cliques. Thousands and hundreds and thousands of souls will come down. And the soul is representative of a life lived. You're going to have many different... I know a lot of you who are watching this video have been on this planet at least 7 times. I know I have been on this planet 7 times. And what will happen is the soul will accommodate a vessel. Technically, what Matt's saying is correct, but the problem that is incorrect in there is the way that you are going to perceive it. You do come down to this planet with souls. However, they are not guides. Souls accommodate vessels. Guides have lived out earthly existences, but at the time of coming down to aid you, they're not there with you from birth. Think of it think of it like this. Guides are appointed to you. Just like, for example, if you went for any one of you now said that you wanted to be a singer and you didn't really know much about singing, what would you do in the materialistic world? What would be the first course of action you would deem necessary? You would find a singing instructor. Okay, we're happy with that one. You want to become a lecturer. What would be the first thing each and every one of you would do now? You would go and find somebody who could train you adequately to be a lecturer. You wanted to be a race car driver. What would be the first thing you would do? You would find somebody who could train you to be it. I'm not going to bore you with the rest. In the materialistic plane, what we do is we find answers to which we seek by finding individuals to help us in that moment. When you were born, you didn't have all of that guidance, that help and assistance. You only gained it when you went searching, when you requested it, when you needed it, and when it was necessary in your world. When it comes to spirit guides, guess when they come present? Well, it's not from birth. It's when you need them. For example, I went the entirety of my life. I've got many spirit guides, and all of you will have as well. And again, we're going to show you how to connect to them on a different video. When it comes to spirit guides, you will be appointed a caseworker. Spirit laughed when I said this yesterday, but it's effectively, a lot of you will be a lot more familiar with the term caseworker. You will get a caseworker who is appointed to you. They have lived out earthly existences. They are very, very aware of who you are. You are appointed a caseworker, a spirit guide, who is going to be better matched to you. You won't just get, for example, right, a lot of you think of the spirit world and you're like, oh, well, they're just behind the scenes. They don't really know much, and they might know us from birth. The spirit world know you as a soul, my friend. They know you much deeper than just from this life. Therefore, they know you better than you know yourself. And it's true. They know who you're going to listen to. A lot of you, when you find this channel, right, I'll just pop up in your feeds and you'll be like, oh my God, you're just a teacher for me. And a lot of you still to this day believe it's a coincidence. I know it's not. I know the spirit world will bring you to me. And just like sort of Matt will have his spirit teams who will push people towards him. Point I'm trying to make here is every medium is different. We all have different traits. Well, this is transferred over to you as on a soul level, on an energetic level. The spirit world will know who you will work with better, who you will go connect with properly. It's like when you go to school, you're going to have many different types of learner. You're going to have people who are visual learners. You're going to have people who are very hands-on. You're going to have people who like to, you see what I'm saying with this? We'll have many different types, many different forms. Well, this is the same as a soul. You have many different souls that are going to be able to communicate and work differently with energy.
That is invisible, that can't be seen, but can be felt. And here's the thing. Most people have no idea that they have a spirit guide. Most people...
A lot of you have got spirit guides. And the way that I would look at it, right, is this is by no stretch of the imagination is like a blueprint for it. But what I would say to you is, have you found a new hobby, a new interest all of a sudden? You've started working with spirit and all of a sudden you're just now, that's it. Something's... I say this all of the time, right? And it's very, very fitting. Have you ever done something where you didn't even know what you were doing, but it felt right in that moment? Have you ever done something where you haven't really given it any thought at all, but you just know how to do it? Well, this, my friends, is when a new spirit guide has entered into your world. You will just be able to do things. A lot of you are like, oh, just a natural at it. I'm just born. I was just born like this. No. Your spirit guide is screaming, I want you. It was me. It's, well, to be fair, they're shouting. We don't even want any acknowledgement for it, Jordan, to be fair. But in a humanistic sense, your spirit guide's telling you all this information, and you'll manage to succeed in whatever facet of your life it is, whatever job it is, or whatever sort of thing that you've started to learn. You are excelling in it. You are exceptionally good at it. Your spirit guide is behind the scenes, pulling all of the strings, helping you to learn, telling you and giving you that little bit of a friendly nudge that you need in those moments. Most people will be like, oh, bit strange, like I knew the answers to that, or bit weird how that happened. It just felt like I knew what I was doing. This, my friends, is when you've been working with your spirit guides.
I have no idea there's someone accompanying them here in this world. And you know what the cool part is? I've actually learned about spirit guides from those in spirit that I talk to. When I talk to your loved ones.
One thing with what Matt just said there, which is kind of strange, like to me in a way, because spirit guides, like I work with many of your spirit guides. I'm not saying Matt can't, by the way. I'm not saying that, but what I would say, just for clarity for each and every one of you, is your spirit guides work with my spirit guides. Matt's spirit guides will work with other spirit guides. So as a medium, we can connect to your spirit guides. For example, right, I was talking to somebody once, and they were new coming into mediumship. They were making a lot of mistakes. They were having a lot of issues and problems. And I was talking to them, and straight away their guides were coming straight through. And they were saying, this is because, remember, psychically, I can work psychically, or I can work mediumistically. And whilst the spirit world can tell me, right, the spirit world and my spirit teams know me as a person. They know me inside out. The person who I'm connecting with, their spirit teams are going to know them on a personal level. Therefore, what happens is essentially like information gets thrown around, a bit like Bluetooth they're showing us, right? You know how like when you pair something up on Bluetooth and you will connect to that item. For example, I've got my phone here and I want to connect my phone to a new speaker. What's going to happen? I'm going to get this device, I'm going to get that device, I'm going to pair it up on Bluetooth, I'm going to send that signal to both. Now kind of a neural handshake there. We are going to get everything connected the way it should. Well, what happens is through your thought, through your intent in working with me in that moment, that is that initial handshake to your teams. Then therefore, the teams will just pass information over. Getting back to the story, the person was making mistakes and her team come straight through and said, tell her to do it like this. This is where she's going wrong. And as soon as I said it, she was like in tears and she was like, I fully get why they would say that now. I have been doing that and I need to stop doing that. And that's how spirit guides can work. I'm not saying it works like that for everyone. I can only give you my experience with it.
One's on either side. They confirm their existence. Joanna says, Matt, is this really live? Yes, it is. And I see Nancy says, hi, Matt. And I also see, oh my God, who's that? Trish? Trish from Australia says, hey, Matt. I also see Rose.
Remember, each and every one of you go and subscribe over to Matt's channel. I love Matt. I love Tyler as
like,
well.
Are you
Absolutely
live? Yes,
awesome.
I am. How come no one ever thinks that I'm live when I'm live?
I'm not sure if they think that about me, like, to be fair, but I would like to think they can say I do things for the right reasons. I know the energies that like work with a lot of people like get a little bit freaked out by it and that, and they like don't really want much to do with it because I'm very opinionated and I've got different ways of doing things. I fully get that. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I don't do things the normal way, to be fair, but I kind of pride myself on that. I'm like spirit of saying I'm not like the naughty kid, but I'm the kid that's got a bone, if that makes sense. And I'm not going to let this go. I'm not going to let anything drop. I'm going to see the message of help, heal, serve through. I'm going to help everyone on this planet to see that mediumship is beautiful. It's magical. And each and every one of you can do it with the correct understandings.
I've been so funny. It was like, are you live? Are you live? Are you live? Yes, I'm live. Tap the screen. Come on in. Come in and join me. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I also see that Mary Mara is here. And I also see that Colors is here as well. Before you were born. And then we meet our spirit guide when we pass away. So that's how I've gotten.
So, right. I mean, I've got to kind of address this. Your spirit guide. Let's just talk about what happens when we're all born. When you come to this planet as a soul, on an energetic level, you accommodate a human vessel. I know I spoke about this earlier on, but I need to kind of bring it all into context for any of you who are new to my ideologies or the way you're thinking. You come down as a soul. You accommodate a human form. Therefore, we then have the auric field, which encompasses the human form, a low frequency energy which radiates from the beating heart. That is effectively a force field. It contains the soul. The soul can't escape. I call it a prison. Spirit don't like us calling it that, but a lot of you, when I say that, you're going to have a visual clue straight away of what I'm referring to. Sorry, the energy got really intense there. But if you think of the soul just here, just trying to escape, it can't. My fist is now the soul. Bouncing back, can't. Therefore, the soul is like a snitch. It's going to tell tales on you. You don't get away with nothing in this life. If that's the case, could this be what Matt's referring to in terms of a spirit guide being with you at the beginning and then at the end? Is this what Matt's referring to as the spirit guide, like the soul? And that's where me and him have a difference in opinion here. Because the soul for me is with you for the entirety of your life. And yes, the soul is with you from the moment you take your first breath, and it's with you at the second you take your last breath. It can't wait to get back and snitch on you. But spirit guides aren't with you from the moment you take your first breath. You could argue and say that energy's with you. Like, you could argue and say, well, actually, even though they're not appointed to you, they're still aware of you 100%. Energy knows each and every one of us better than we know ourselves. However, it's not, for me anyway, the fact that your guides are with you from day one. If you like the idea of that and you just continue to believe that, honestly, I don't mean you any offense. But your guides are going to be coming to you and ushering you through your most difficultest times, through your times of need. They are going to be appointed to you in those moments. They aren't with you from birth. It would be illogical, even in a human sense, thinking that when you were born you had multiple different guides, because your journey isn't planned. I know a lot of you will be like, Jordan, I done a soul contract. Such a human concept. Like everything that we do in this world, we liken the spirit world to our world. That's why people think there's evil spirits, because if there's evil on this world, then there's got to be in the spirit world. Well, we have contracts in our world. There must be contracts in spirit. It's got to be the only way that it works. You did not choose this life. Be open and transparent to each and every one of you. Not one of you chose it. And if you did and you think I'm wrong, look at the life that you've led. Look at the life that you've had. I'm not saying that you're a bad person or you've had bad people around you, but what I'm saying is surely you would have picked better situations. You would have been a millionaire for a start. You would have had everything your little heart need, want, and desires. A lot of you might say, well, actually, I've got everything I want. I've got the perfect family and stuff. I don't mean it like that. You're taking it the wrong way. What I'm saying is a lot of people on this planet believe that they have no way of controlling their destiny. It's locked in. You've picked it at the start and that's it. That would make sense, having spirit teams, if that was the case, having spirit guides, because every moment and every second of your journey, it's going to be have milestones. You do have milestones, but those are the milestones that you have created. There is no blueprint to this life. You have the right to choose good, make good and bad decisions. You have the right to free will as you traverse along your journey. That's what navigates you. You as a person, you have become a product of your environment. The conditions that you have been through have sculpted you into the being who is watching this video. Not the plan that you made 25 billion light years back, where you just signed it on a quill with a little bit of ink and there you go. I don't accept that. So the idea that you have guides appointed you from birth, to me, that's not the way that the spirit world have educated me. Again, I'm not saying like you just have to hate on Matt, or I'm just saying like this is my opinion. It's good to see different ways of looking at it. When it comes to a spirit guide, what is the purpose? Coming back to the analogy that I mentioned about you when you go looking for somebody to help you sing. What would be the purpose of having that purpose, having that person to help you sing from being a young age, if you're not going to be a singer? You don't need guides. Guides have to help individuals. They have to be with many different people. And by the way, in case anyone asks, can your guides work with other people? In terms of, a lot of people think that guides, when we speak about guides, there's just one of them, or there could be many, but they are single, like people like us. Their energy, they're not confined to the limitations of the human form. They can be everywhere at once. A lot of you will be working with the same guides. A lot of you will be working with different energies, and you might not even realize it.
Spirit guides. When I've talked to your loved ones on the other side, many times they've come through and they're like, Matt, the weirdest thing happened. The moment I got to the other side, I realized I had a spirit guide. And when I've asked the other side about this, I've asked so many souls about this spirit guide and what it was.
And why do you think that would happen? Think about it to yourself. Why do you think for the entirety of one's life, we can go through this roller coaster, not believe that we've got any guidance at all, and then as we depart the materialistic world and we return back into energy, we realize that we were actually being guided and chaperoned the entirety of the time? Why do you think that is? We come to this planet to feel isolated. We come to this planet to feel alone. We come to this planet because we can't experience this in spirit. It's love. It's energy. We are embraced. When you return to energy, right? And every one of you, unfortunately, at some point, we're all going to return to energy. Let's not beat around the bush here. But when we return back, the limitations of the human form are gone. We return back into the oneness. We are loved. We are relished. We are adored in a way that is just unimaginable to each and every one of you now. So going back into spirit and having the spirit world explain that whilst they were alone in this life and whilst they felt alone, because of the human vessel, because of all of the different confines and restrictions that we have, when we go back in energy, of course you're going to feel energy. You're going to feel that raw love. You're going to feel it on a complete different level, my friends.
What it was like meeting with them. And they've all said the same thing. Their spirit guide has been someone that they've met at the end of their life when they've transitioned on after seeing their mom, their dad, their sister, their brother. There was someone else in the crowd. And
for a lot of you, right, who want to know what it's like when you're, because again, like, I'm going to just go, because I don't want to pausing on Matt like that. It wouldn't be, it's not nice. For a lot of you who wonder what it's like to pass over to the other side, I can only give you the way that spirit world have showed me. Again, I haven't passed over to the other side, so I can't like say it's like this and that. You've got to believe me. I can only give you what I've seen. If you think of a dark room, and in that dark room, you have like, do you know the old-fashioned movies where you have it's like a reel. I mean, I've never even seen them before, to be fair, but the way that spirit will show me, it's like, it's a reel, and on that reel, it's got the imprints of the images, flash, like photography. I think the old-fashioned cinemas used to have them. And on that reel, you're going to have many different pictures, and it's just going to come up on the wall. Well, what you can actually do is in spirit, is when you return back over, right, you've got all of these images all over around you. It's just like a void full of images. And what you can actually do is when you focus on one, it turns into a moving video. It's captured as a photograph. A bit like a thumbnail, they're saying. A bit like a thumbnail. Every one of you, right? No, if you click the thumbnail on YouTube, that's so good. If you click a thumbnail on a video, you've got the initial imprint, you've got the intrigue, and then you're going to watch it. And you're not clicking it to watch the thumbnail, you're clicking to watch the video. Well, that's the same as how it goes when you return back into spirit. You will see billions of memories, billions of different happy times. In the second that you look at it, it starts playing out that memory. It starts playing out what happened. It starts playing out the emotions that you felt, all of these different things. So it's fascinating. I thought I'd just share that with you.
Someone else was their spirit guide. And it was weird for them in a good way, because when they met this spirit guide, everyone reported the same thing. All the souls have told me that they had this weird connection where they saw this person that was there.
Again, it doesn't sit right with me that a spirit guide would be there from the start of your life into the end. That to me is the soul. If I'm completely honest, that is the soul. So we're not really too far in reviews. You know, Matt sees the soul as being the guide for this example anyway. You know, you might completely correct us. Maybe it's not the way I've picked up on it. Maybe I've picked up on it completely wrong. But to me, what Matt is describing is the soul. The soul is there from birth, and it is there the second you take your last breath. It will go back over the energy. And what you've got to remember is right, your soul visually isn't you. The visual representation of you will be contained within the soul, but the soul has an identity. It doesn't look like you. It doesn't look human. It can't be human. It's energy. However, when you think about it, like the way that Matt's saying there, when you return back to energy and you feel connected, and it's just you could pretty much imagine as you're being walked through them gates that there is going to be a very familiar energy with you. It's the snitch. It's going to tell on you. You better stop him. You better stop him, stop her, because the second you get through them pearly gates, you, my friend, are going to be in a lot of trouble. I'm only joking. You aren't going to be in a lot of trouble, because there is no pearly gates. There's just energy, and it's instant. So trying to stop them is just pointless. It's you're back there instantly. Yeah, I mean, that's spirit guides aren't there from the second you take your first breath, and they're not there from the second you take your last breath. They will just jump in and out of your world as and when you need them.
That was waiting for them at the end of life. They knew this person, but they couldn't put their finger on who this person was. They knew.
Again, that could, like, seriously, and I come into these videos not to try to cause, you know, to cause indifferences, and not to prove I have to have an opinion. Listen, sometimes if somebody says something, I mean, I get my information from spirit, You all know that. I don't read mankind's literature. I don't read mankind books. I don't need them. But a lot of the time when I listen to people, I take bits of it apart. It's the way I work. I like to make processes out of everything. And I can see where Matt's going with this. I can see how the soul could be perceived in this moment.
That this person was someone that they loved, someone that they cared about, someone that was with them through life. They thought that this person may have been an eye.
And think about it realistically. Every word that Matt just said there, you are going to have those same feelings towards your soul. Fun fact, a lot of you talk about soulmates, right? A lot of you talk about having loved ones and all of these different things, but there is nothing more stronger in this life than the bond with your soul. Your soul is the most personal thing to every one of you. And I know I call it a little snitch, and I probably shouldn't, because mine's going to go and tell tales on us. But your soul, on an energetic level for each and every one of you, completes you. It is everything about you. It's the essence part of you. Therefore, it would make logical sense to know that when you go into spirit, it's going to feel like a loved one. Again, depending on how it's going to look in those moments. Is it energy going to cloak it into looking like someone that you want to? Or is it just, it feels like a loved one because you have been with it for the entirety of your life? Felt like a soulmate. Just went into the energy with us. Yeah, well, it's actually been entwined with you for the entirety of every existence you've had. You're going to build up a little bit of a relationship off that.
Or an uncle or, a great grandparent. They knew them. Almost like when you see someone and you're like, wait a minute, I think I may have seen you in a photo or I've seen you somewhere. It actually happens to me all the time. People come to me up to me all the time. They're like, wait, I know you. I don't know where I know you from, but I know you. And I'm like, I'm a psychic.
I get it all the time as well, Matt. Here in the United Kingdom, it's normally Crime Stoppers. I'm one of them. I'm only joking, by the way, everyone. But when you look at me, right, I'm not exactly the normal, stereotypical sort of person that does this sort of thing. I don't I just don't have any sort of flair, artistical flair to it. I am who I am. I'm raw. I just turn up. I just do it. Have I shaved? Have I not shaved? I couldn't care less. It's just the way that I am. It's just the person that I am.
Being like, that's how, oh my God. Well, that same thing happens when you meet your spirit guide on the other side of life. So I love that so many of you guys are here right now. I see all things Maria's here. I see that Mary Beth says, who is mine? Well, we're going to talk all about it because I want to share with you in this live who your spirit guide is.
Is it right for a medium to tell you who your guides are? Every medium is going to have their own opinion, but let us explain mine. Whilst mediums will tell you who your guides are, I think it's a bad idea. I really do, because you're always going to get that one medium who hasn't got a connection, and they're going to tell you that you've got an Indian chief who watches over when you went to sleep, and there's going to be no evidence to it. A lot of people have asked me who their guides are, and I'll tell you the reason why I say this. It's your personal journey to find out. I can show you how to connect. I can tell you how to connect. But when it comes to their names, that's personal to you. You have to find their names. That's part of this journey. And I really wish a lot of mediums would look at it, right, and go, Jordan's got a point there. Why am I doing this for them? Why am I spoiling the magical moments of them connecting for themselves, learning and having and gaining that strong connection to the spirit world by their own actions than just giving them the information? Because I know a lot of you want me to come on, or Matt to come on and tell you all of the names, but it holds no value. It really doesn't, because we could say their names Mary, Frank, Dave. How are you going to prove that we're wrong? And that's what we need to step away from. We need it to become more of a personal journey to yourself, where it's based on evidence than just listening to what people tell you. Not that I'm saying like mediums would lie to you. It's not for that reason, because mediums can tell you your spirit guides' names. Of course they can. But Is it better for you to learn that for yourself? 100%. 100%.
What they're doing, how they're helping you in life, and so much more. So do me a favor, click the share button, click the like button. Let's get as many of our friends in here as possible. And what I want, New York, Des Moines, Iowa, in the comment right here, because I'll see them and I want to answer as yes. Your spirit guide works with your angels, who works with your loved one. This is your
spirit guides working with your angels and your loved one. The problem is right, and I don't want this to come across as being nasty. A lot of you will never ever work with angels. And that's not because you're a horrible person. Angels are, it's not even as this they're in high demand. It's angels are there effectively like keeping order. And not in a religious sense and not in a biblical sense. And there's no war going on like mankind would have you believe. But angels are effectively it's very difficult to get assistance from angels, because when they have to intervene, it's in dire need. It's in a time when your life is either in jeopardy or something needs to change drastically. Angels can move people out of your world. They do move people out of your world. If you don't want to make a decision and you need to make that decision, they will make it for you. Not all of the time. A lot of people believe that angels just come into your world and they'll just do everything for you. The problem is that's just not true. Sorry everyone, I've just knocked my mic there. I should have probably looked at where I had my mic positioned. I think that's probably a bit better. I think I'll have to put it properly for the next time. But so many people look at angels and think, I've got angels working with me. Angels do this for me. Angels, and I don't want to take it away from me, and I don't want to be the bad guy here. But you don't ask angels to work for you. Whilst a lot of you might be, well, hang on a minute, you tell us to call upon specific, yes, you can call upon specific energies. You can call upon angels. The fact of the matter is, though, it's not just a case of, I don't know what to eat tonight, I'm going to call upon an angel. Angel, tell me what to eat tonight. If you are going through an emotional roller coaster, you are at your wit's end and you need help, and you call upon angels, then guess what's going to happen? You may get assistance from your guides. You may get assistance from your spirit teams. You may get assistance from your loved ones in spirit. That isn't angels and that isn't archangels. Archangels and angels are very difficult to work alongside of. Really difficult. And for those of you who are like, well, actually, they're just the same as the spirit world. Completely different frequencies. Completely different frequencies. And that's why it's difficult, right? Because a lot of you just look at these energies and think, oh, well, it would make my life so much easier if they had just come into my world and done this. But in those moments, what are we not doing? In those moments, we aren't living. We aren't striving to become a better version of ourselves. We aren't trying to grow spiritually. Therefore, they won't help you. In dire needs, then they might help you. But unfortunately, it's not just
divine team in heaven. This is your squad. So when you're alone, when you're stressed, when you're nervous, when you feel like you've lost your way, you have these groups of people helping you. Your spirit guide, your guardian angel, and your loved ones on the other side.
Guardian angels for me are a cop-out, and I'll tell you the reason why. Guardian angels implies that there are angels who are just guardians. Well, I mean, it says it on the tin, doesn't it? A guardian angel. There aren't guardian angels. You have loved ones. You have spirit guides, spirit teams, whatever you want to call them. Yes, you have angels. Yes, you have archangels. But you don't have specific guardians who watch over you. That's not of energy to watch over you. You have to watch over yourself. Whilst they naturally are, obviously, your loved ones in spirit want to see how you're getting on, and they're going to tap in and they're going to come and watch how you're getting on and how you're going to make this difficult decision. But that's not because they're guardians over you. You have to make mistakes. You have to get it wrong to get it right. There are going to be difficult times. There are going to be times of distress, discomfort, heartache, pain, suffering, emotional turmoil. But you don't have a guardian angel watching over going, haha, I'm going to tap in this little cheat code here, diva, and guess what? You aren't going to feel no pain. Doesn't work, does it? If you like the idea of there being a guardian angel in spirit who is watching over you, don't let me take that away from you. Please don't let me take that away from you. I can only speak my truth. And I'll speak it till the end of time. I don't mean to offend people. But so many people fall into the traditional mindset of what mediums have been speaking about, how there are many different... The problem is right, when you start thinking that you have guardian angels watching over you, if you have loved ones in spirit, right, who loved you in this life, and you like the idea of them being your guardian angel, you have them being your guardian angel. It's not a problem, is it? It's your world. But one thing I will say to that is they're with you anyway. You don't need them to be a guardian angel. You don't need to have a specific person. All energy is with you. The spirit world, that's why the energy is getting really intense. Spirit world's always with you. You don't need to think of a single guardian or multiple guardians. Spirit world are the biggest shield that you will ever find, my friends.
This side, and we can't forget our pets either. But your spirit guide was someone like me and you, right, who lived and walked here on earth, that passed away. And a lot of people ask me, what do we do?
100% agree with that. All spirit guides have purposefully come to planet Earth, lived out different experiences so that they can help human beings to be able to heal and to learn spiritually.
On the other side, what happens when we get to the spirit world? Well, we take on divine tasks. I've seen your loved ones in spirit do amazing things.
What do we do in spirit? It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because a lot of you want me to tell you what the stereotypical teachings are, that you have loved ones who are mowing the grass. You have your Aunt Bessie who loved making blueberry pies and she's still making them now in spirit. Whilst in a mediumship reading, she might come forward and let you smell those pies, and she might even show you them cooking them if there was something evidential to it. 100%, but that is part of their evidence. It's not because they are still cooking them in spirit. The human logic in spirit is no more. When we return back into energy, we become part of the oneness. We don't need to do tasks. Tasks are a human way of looking at things. In part of the collective energy, there is no essence of time. Everything's like, you know how like when you've had a busy week and on a Monday, you just like can't wait to get to Friday, and then all of a sudden it's Friday. Or actually, Spirit are saying you should have probably done it a weekend. You've worked all week to get to Friday. Friday night comes, boom, we're back to Monday, we're back to the grind. Well, that's what it's like in spirit. By the time we get into spirit and we've seen our loved ones, we're coming back down for another experience. But in this time, hundreds of years might have passed. You get what I'm saying?
I've seen loved ones in spirit, for example, help us in divine ways that only God and the angels can do. For example,
I mean, I'm not a one for God. I believe in energy. I believe in a higher consciousness. I don't believe in mankind's teachings of gods. I don't believe that any of you have to pray or conform to a certain way to be accepted by energy, accepted by God. That's why I really don't like follow religion, because it tells you how to live your life. It tells you how you should be to have God in your world. Well, I'm sorry. If there's a God, God loves each and every one of you unconditionally. You don't need to pray. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. Live your life. That's all that God wants, isn't it? I mean, a lot of books will tell you that you are a part made, each and every one of you, in the image of himself. Therefore, if that is the case, then you all are him in his image. Therefore, you should just live your lives. You should go out and live and become the greatest version of yourself in his image. I don't follow religion, as you can tell.
There was this woman that I was reading for who desperately wanted to get pregnant. She desperately wanted to have kids. She went through several rounds of in vitro.
And this is one of the difficult parts. I'm guessing what's going to happen here is I'm going to jump the gun, and I think Matt's going to say, well, actually, your spirit guides helped you to get pregnant. The problem is no, the spirit world don't help with the contraception. That's a human thing. That's the way that the human reproductive organs work. It's got nothing to do with the spirit world. It's got nothing to do with guides. It's got nothing to do with angels. Whilst if they've been waiting for a long time and they do manage to fall pregnant, then maybe in those moments they have believed that it's been a blessing, and but no, it was always going to happen anyway. It's literally comes down to your intent.
It didn't work, and she was just about.
And unfortunately, our bodies are designed by default to fail. So it's
to give up. Well, her grandmother passed away. Her grandmother went to the other side, and miraculously, after her grandmother had passed on and went to the other side, she got pregnant. And she got pregnant without in vitro. She got pregnant completely.
And are we now saying that the grandma has went to spirit and has created this to happen? It's a lovely story. It's a lovely, but personally, I think it was going to happen anyway.
That's on accident, right? She didn't think she could get pregnant. It was her great joy and her great delight that she did. And when it connected with the other side, her grandmother came through and said, I was the one responsible for that. I did that. I helped her.
I mean, there's the evidence there. So a grandma come through and says that she helped her. Again, maybe it was the spirit world behind the scenes doing it. Personally, for myself, though, I mean, obviously, I've heard Matt's evidence there, so I've got no reason to disbelieve what he's saying. So maybe it was the grandma that helped her. But what we can't do is have mankind believing that if things are going wrong, we need to ask spirit. And if it still goes wrong, we can blame spirit. That's where it stops. You don't blame spirit. The spirit world will do what they can do from behind the scenes, but it shouldn't become an expectancy of them to be able to fulfill these. Beautiful story that Matt just shared with everyone, right? And I bet you the person's absolutely over the moon. But how many people on this planet, right, will hear this story and they're suffering and they can't manage to make something happen, and they're praying to spirit and they're praying to God and they're praying to their grandma who they loved in spirit, but it's not happening for them? How do they then feel as a human being? Because the spirit world aren't doing the same. They feel punished. They feel penalized. That's why I would kind of stay away from the spirit world needing to interject in scenarios. It shouldn't become a dependency for mankind to rely on the spirit world to be able to fulfill certain. We have to have a good understanding, and understanding that serves. Know that sometimes in life we can make things happen through our intent. So anyway, I'm going to bring this video to an end. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward to part number 2. We are going to be continuing this. I'm going to try and keep all of these videos down to an hour. I know I talk a lot. We'll try and keep them down to an hour. If you did enjoy this video, consider smashing the like button, subscribing to the channel. Also, thank you to all of the channel members. Don't forget, every Thursday we do have the channel member classrooms. You will find a link in the members community post. If you did enjoy this video, check out the videos pinned at the top left and right. And until the next time, bye-bye for now.